Welcome. Welcome back to Diversity is the Game Changer. And today's episode title is Fractals Pioneering of the Future. And conversation with the visionary Dr. Arun Kumars. Actually, we had planned to be with double brain today because there are actually two brothers, two visionary brains. But Dr. Jit, he's in another meeting, but his brother said that he can cover him totally and fully, and so we can adjust to that. So anyway, episode title is Fractals Pioneer of the Future, conversation with the visionary Dr. Arun Kumars. And welcome back to our podcast where we dive into the stories, minds, missions that prove inclusion isn't just a value, it's a revolution. Today's episode is unlike any other because we are joined by truly visionary mind, double minds actually, innovators who are shaping the future of how we live, connect, and thrive. Please welcome Dr. Arun Kumars, the groundbreaking visionary behind some of the world's first cutting-edge science and technology. And I'm going to make list just some of them. You and your brother, creators of the Nano Bio AI Smart City, inventors of the Fractal ACG, or in Norwegian we call it EcoGer. I live in Norway, that's people can relate easily with this term. Pioneers of Nanogenesed chip design technology, and if I'm not pronounced correctly, you can introduce later all these gems and correct me because it's totally new inspirational subjects and topics for me as well. Designers of the Cybertransmaya project, a nano cardiac pacemaker, right? Innovators behind Nano Turbine, a vision for clean, endless energy, and many, many more. So, but first of all, as usual, I have a tradition on my podcast. We are going to elaborate about your childhood and the seeds of innovation. Could you please tell us, as we are starting from the beginning, what was your childhood like? And probably how was the childhood of your brother like, and how your guys' childhood shaped the way you both view the world today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, thank you, ma'am, for introducing both of us, of course, in the podcast. We are grateful for giving us the opportunity to present ourselves.
Thank you so much. I usually have no tendency to interrupt, but I'm caring about audience and your quality. Is it possible to make a little bit more volume because we can't hear
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Or maybe you can sit closer to the desk.
Yeah, the volume is increased, ma'am. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
it's better. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes. So basically, we are medical doctors and, of course, brothers. And we were born in the city of Trivandrum, of the capital city of the state of Kerala. Of course, it's called the God's own country from India, because basically we are from India, from southern part, most part of India. And the city's name is Trivandrum, because one of the most world famous tourist spots are there. Of course, a lot of cultural heritage and lot of I think strivings people made to achieve anything. Of course, the city has gained a lot of importance also. And we were born there, and my our father actually he's an employed in government, and mother is a housewife. And early from our because Dr. Ajit is elder than me, about 1.5 years elder than me, and myself is younger. And when we have the because we have our schoolings, especially in Holy Angels, our lower primary, and in the our upper primary and high school in Kreisner School, of course, one of the most famous schools in here, Kreisner. While of course our innovative minds became very sharp when Usually, my brother start all the innovations mainly from the of course, from the schoolhood, of course, while we are studying in Christnagar. So, because at that time, that school, Christnagar is a unique school. At that time, they introduced the science fair concept. With a lot of innovations we have to exhibit 3 to 4 days long. All the students studying, they can have their own innovations. They can exhibit that at the science fair. Then the talents day, lot of innovative programs the school has introduced. So my brother used to have a innovative mind from the mainly from the school age, from the fifth standard he is studying, especially when we are in Christnagar. And after that, myself is also involved, and we studied our pre-university at Maru College because one of the biggest, I can say not the biggest, of course, one of the highly reputed and one of the most famous colleges from the city we are from, is Trivandrum, actually, Trivandrum city, the Maru College. And from there, we studied from the medical college Trivandrum, one of the most reputed medical colleges, and of course from India. It's of course from South India. It's the most reputed medical college. We had the opportunity to study in the Trivandrum Medical College, and in between, I do have a small, of course, a small course at the CET College of Engineering. After that, I shifted to medical college. So our innovative minds, especially my brother, changed during the early 90s. So when he's studying for the pre-degree and the pre-university, he used to interact with the people, and he used to drive the, of course, his colleagues in such a way that their innovative mind also change, because there's a concept called, you ma'am, you will be known the neurodiversity. All the people will not think like a so mainly because how we get the this innovative, maybe from my family, because our grandfather, he is basically of course he's from Trivandrum, but he had his background from Ceylon. Of course, Ceylon is now the Sri Lanka, country of Sri Lanka. We had our background there, and from there, he comes to the state of Kerala and Trivandrum. So he is very innovative also. So maybe some genetic trait may be passed on. And one of our uncle also, he had a lot of innovations in, of course, in electronics also. So maybe some genetic culture may be there. So my brother first introduced used to think differently, while especially while I was in the pre-university and degree, and then while studying for the Toronto Medical College, we changed a lot because he introduced a lot of things. And first, we introduced a, a new model for how to develop artificial organs like heart, lung, and brain at the space, space, of course, in the outer space. So we proposed a project to the, of course, at that time to the Indian Space Research Organization. We saw at that time the director of the VSSC, Dr. B. N. Suresh sir. So they all encouraged, like Dr. K. Shastri, Dr. S. C. Sharma, and Dr. S. S. Balakrishnan of ISRO headquarters, Bangalore. So we just propose a project like introducing morphogenesis. How a sperm and the egg morphogenesis to such a big individual like that, like a baby. That is introduced morphogenesis in the nano world. That we have, at the best of knowledge, it will be about 1999, 2000, 2001. More introducing morphogenesis in the nano world, genetic axial orbits and organizers in morphogenesis, gene vehicles in dynamics. And this is the project with that, how we can artificially create life in space, how we can create organs, because in space the convection and sedimentation at the microgravity level is very least, right? Of course we can't say it is zero, it is least. So the perfect helical shape, lot of things can be studied there. So we have presented at the ISRO headquarters in Bangalore twice. At that time, Dr. S. S. Balakrishnan, sir, the chairman of the International Space Station, Dr. B. N. Suresh, all are appreciated. It has been shortlisted also. Then after that, we completed our studies at Trivandrum Medical College. We are unable to follow. Then we started our practice also. Basically, we are medical doctors. And then and about in the at the about in the beginning of 2000, we thought of introducing a chip. It's called the Nanogenesed chip. At that time, my brother was fascinated by reading the book of Dr. Eric Drexler, the father of nanotechnology, The Engines of Creation in the late 90s. He was fascinated by that book, how we can create small nano robots, nanobots, and how we can create artificially all the we can simulate artificially all our life forms outside with respect to the artificial intelligence. At that time, we introduced the artificial intelligence also. So he designed a chip with respect to fractal geometry. How we encourage the fractal geometry, because fractal geometry is a very big science introduced by Binoy Mandelbrot of IBM. It was a great mathematician, because in nature, all the beings, all the of course the live beings are in fractals in nature. It was our lung. Fractal means the repetition of the same figures, and that is which is reducing in the size at the different angles. So that is in simple terms, it is called fractal thing. So if the lung is a fractal, if we bisect the lung, it is a fractal. That it is repeat, 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 right? Because nature is such a, the universe is such a big mathematician and a big organizer. Of course, it's a God also, and we do believe in God also, and it has designed such a human body. It is perfect. Some conditions will come. That is why that the genetic malformations will come. So we studied the fractal, and we introduced a chip called the Nanogenesed chip, world's first nano fractal
Okay.
chip. Nobody.
Thank you so much. It was
Yeah,
very, very profound.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And then I would like to ask the question which is more
yeah,
relevant to our podcast, because
yeah,
you're not just designing the tech, you're designing the futures, right? And
yeah,
all these technologies are connected with our humans, and
yeah,
our
yeah,
humans, we are so diverse. So
yeah, yeah,
if we are approaching diversity of thoughts and creating inclusive environments,
yeah.
how has diversity of thoughts played a role in your work and approach? And in your opinion, how can organizations and innovators like you and brother can better harness, because of we are so diverse? And actually, I do believe that all these innovations, creation are possible because we are so diverse. Our brain are wired so differently. And we are talking a lot about making more creative environments, uh, creative communities, but still for many companies it's just box to check, right? It's not the real tool for transformation. uh, the environment you are working and creating, what kind of environment is it, and how you personally and your brother can care about diversity and inclusion? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question, ma'am. Because of course, neurodiversity is a big area, especially in the late 80s and 90s. Because the whole universe is such a great mathematician. I can say it can say a great manipulator also. That it makes us, especially some of the people, some of the individuals, to think, because for us to think, there should be a specific force or a nano force or femto force behind us. It makes us to think, because all the people will not think like that. Only some people will think, of course, differentially and creatively. Some, of course, there are autism, the compulsive disorder, a lot of disorders are there. So why UNOS has put such a thing that all the people did not think alike? So only some people had the ability to do some. Of course, we can say it is a partiality and all, but according to the UNOS, it is for the stability of the UNOS. If all the things are 100% right, the UNOS will not stand; it will fall. So everything should not be 100% perfect. There should be a 10 to 15 or 20% imperfection, or it should not be perfect also. Then only it will balance. So in our culture, of course, our main project is the Nano Bio AICT NBAC. So in the Nano Bio City, we aim to introduce a culture of high-tech innovations. Not all the people, of course, the neurodiversity, of course, the autism people can come, or then the lot of mental retarded by patient come. We just give a opportunity to express. Of course, the autism people there, they are excellent in a single area. There will be very excellent a specific area, because one specific area of the brain will be highly specified and they are highly expressed. So in one specific area, sometimes it will be in mathematics, sometimes it will be in arts or poetry. So in some area, some specificity will be given. So we just want to give opportunity to all the people to introduce their high creativity in our environment. No, because the nature or the universe wants all the people to express, because it is their ultimate aim. Now, of course, unfortunately or unfortunately, not all the people had given the chances. Maybe, of course, there are, because India, because we had religion, caste is there. Caste means sub-religion. Higher
Mhm.
caste, lower caste. We had a lot of discrimination, caste-based discrimination. We also face that, of course. Still, of course, still it exists. Yes, yes, still it exists. Of course, we have to admit that. And so all the people should be given, irrespective of religion, whether we are Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Jews, like Buddhist, all are equal, because we do believe in there's only one God and one caste and one religion. Actually, there is only one God, the whole universe controlling. And there is only one religion. The whole mankind is a religion. There's no differentiation, and there's only one subcaste. Because we do religion. Because one of the greatest religious guru, I come from Kerala, of course, Sri Narayana Guru, he always said there is only one caste, one religion, and one God for all of the mankind. There is only one, because we just want to focus. That is the main reason now all the countries are fighting each other. There's a war like that. Of course, in Russia and Ukraine, there's a war in like that. Here, there is, of course, in Middle East. Lot of the countries are fighting each other, because we should have the inner conscious thing that we are one, because the inner conscious is not making us believe. So we must make the inner conscious, or not the subconscious, inner conscious believe that we are all the one. There's no discrimination. This is the root cause of all the I can irregularities in the world. But the whole nature, all the universe wants it one. I don't know, some maybe some irregular, but finally it will definitely come. So in our nano bio AICT, we want a oneness culture, because we do believe that there is only one and not a second. So we do believe that. So our culture is all the people should be there. No discrimination of religion, caste, creed, like higher, well, lower, higher, they belong to higher, of course, a caste, lower caste, like higher religion, like that. All should be one. That is how that environment should be there. And of
Amazing.
course, the nature will, yeah, yeah, will
Thank you
give us
so
the
much.
opportunity. Yeah,
If I can resonate a little bit. So the key takeaway that innovation thrives in spaces where everyone is invited to think, question,
yeah,
and contribute. Diversity isn't
yeah,
just afterthought; it's actually DNA of the progress that we
yeah,
all
yeah.
can.
Perfect, man. Yeah, yeah,
My
that's
next question is, I think a lot of people are concerned, especially right now when we have really the fast pace of digitalization, and we cannot forget ethical considerations because they are crucial when it comes to the kinds of advanced technologies being
yeah,
developed by your work and your
yeah,
brother's work,
yeah,
because it spans nanobio interfaces, AI human
yeah,
integration,
yeah,
genetic technologies, and
yeah,
smart infrastructure. And all of that, of course, raise significant questions about privacy, equity, consent, and control. And
yeah,
as you know,
yeah,
while you are engaged in all these domains, so
yeah,
you are in charge of collecting massive amounts of data from
yeah, yeah,
citizens, right? It's massive amounts of data. And
yeah,
then, of course, ethical concerns should be taken care of. So my first question will be about data privacy. Who
yeah,
owns
yeah,
the data collected through sensors embedded in the environment, clothing, even bodies? And then, are citizens actually aware of the technologies operating around and inside them?
yeah,
How all this data, imagine how much data you are operating with, how actually you're taking care of ethical considerations and security. and privacy of this data?
Yeah, because ma'am, that's also a very good question. The data privacy is our ultimate thing because through this nanogenesed chip, we are introducing the nano digital gene card, a card like a social security card. In India, it is the other card like that, PAN card
Mhm.
like that. We are introducing a card for all about more than 8 billion people worldwide, and in that card, all their data are secured with a lot of cyber security codes are there, but we are introducing a multi codes variant with respect to the cloud. Of course, the cloud computing is there. A multi code variation we are there. So only the individual can only break that code. Only the individual, no other work can break the code to sense his personal information. It's a multivariant code. MVC is there. We are introducing the first time multivariant code, a code with respect to exponential algorithm. So the individual can only because he's connected to the cellular data. Not that we are introducing a chip in his body and all. It is connected to the cellular DNA algorithm. We are aligning the algorithm to resonate with this multivariant code with the exponential algorithm, so that the individual, because the first time we are introducing nowadays lot of this data privacy or lot of this data are being breached. No. For us, nobody can hack or beat this, especially till the end of the world, because it's called a multivariant code with the exponential algorithm we are introducing. So the data are 100 or 101% safe. So only the individual can automatically relieve it, because the iris can. If we can say it is only the individual can only have the specific data with respect to the iris. So we are introducing a DNA algorithm scan with that. Now, all the individuals, of course, their DNA genes are about more than 1990. Uh, Almost 99% identical, but almost less than 0.1%. It's a highly varied. I can say less than 0.1%. It's only in the studied, of course, in the research phase also. But we are introducing this code so that the data are not breached or hacked, or no hacker can do, because there when we then when they go for deeper and deeper hacking, it becomes more and more complicated, more deeper, more complicated, so that they leave and just go away. So it is 101% safe regarding with respect to the data. That is also we are introducing a new code also.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. It's very important, I believe.
yeah,
It's a lot of elaborations, for many countries, because
yeah,
now, uh, especially when we have this era with unsecure political situations,
yeah,
how
yeah,
much we should
yeah,
be concerned about data, and especially private data, right? So
yeah, yeah,
I think it's very important that
yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah,
so seriously this
yeah,
concern.
yeah,
Our segment 3, I would like to elaborate. You have been already touched about um, this new emergent type of diversity. It's neurodiversity, and for me, it's passional advocacy. As I'm neurodivergent myself, I have OCD, and I know that many uh, people now, they are identified with numerous types of neurodivergent. It's very important to take not just care about us, but to take into considerations and to change the narrative that those
yeah,
not those people are all together. We are unique, how we are wired in our brain, and we should celebrate, not just tolerate or just accept, but really
yeah.
celebrate the difference of our minds. And the following question is, let's talk about neurodiversity at the place and environment you're operating and working. And of course, it's always connected with the context of the, like you have already mentioned, culture and religion and
Yeah.
country and region, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How has understanding of neurodiversity or being cognitive divergent influence the way you build or design your technology in your company? And if you could choose some advices about a truly inclusive world and society and community, how it should look like, or not just physically, but how you believe uh, people, managers, um, inventors like you can care more and to be concerned to build more inclusive society for people with neurodivergence. Thank you.
Of course, ma'am, neurodiversity, of course, is because very important subject during the, of course, 80s and 90s. Of course, all the almost all I can say the big people, celebrities, have some kind of neurodivergent problem. Einstein had autism, of course, Isaac Newton, all the people, of course, all the leading actors, and all. Because neurodiversity, I can't say according to our own vision and our own thoughts. Neurodiversity is not a disability, I can say. Of course, it is a ability the nature has given. Because, of course, Albert Einstein has autism in his childhood, but he excelled like anything. Even the nature can excel more than the nature, of course. So, of course, it's a gift of nature also. Nature is given. I also read most of the Hollywood directors, a lot of the scientists, a lot of CEOs, the old age, of course, in the young age, not the old age, in the young age. Of course, Einstein in the young age, they had a lot of this neurodiversity problem.
Mhm.
According to our thoughts, it is a gift of the nature because with respect to neurodiversity, so, the normal individual, all the brain circuit gyre, of course, the folds of the brain, maybe uniformly disturbed, uniformly distributed, I can say, uniformly distributed and dispersed in such a way that all the information is in a streamlined flow. But in neurodivergent individual, the sulci and gyri is not uniformly distributed and dispersed, so that some of the information may be turbulent is there, and that turbulence in the future it will create a big burst in with respect to creativity.
Mhm.
Because yeah, because in Einstein brain when they analyzed the brain, he had some sulci and gyri, some spaces, some sulci and gyri is he has more spaces there with respect to Salkar Gare. So maybe the information storage may be more. But actually, the what I have mentioned earlier is the according to our view, the nature, because these are all the powerful supernatural power of the nature that is doing everything. It's not our control also. So here we are introducing a new concept called the invisible brain. What is called the invisible brain? Invisible brain in because when we go for a because when we are not conscious, when we are unconscious, of course, stock patients, lot of patients, when we are unconscious, because we are not aware of the physical aware, because we are unaware of the physical thing, physical activity,
Mhm.
but the mental awareness we have, physical awareness we don't have. In the in his
Mhm.
in the inner depth he know that he is having, he is lying there, but the physical he can't move also, the physical. So there's a difference between mental and physical awareness. So with respect to the invisible brain, there are a lot of connections called strong connections and weak connections in the brain that is not explored. Strong connections explored, this weak connections not explored. When we explore these weak connections, when this individual can connect the weak connections, he can be the physical, he can be truly aware of the physical nature. But at that time he can connect the mental nature with the physical nature. So that is the main viewpoint of the neurodiversity we have. But this is with respect to a unconscious mind. With respect to the conscious thing, we are having there are a lot of these celebrities, because earlier I just mentioned. Because there different thinking is there. Of course, some may be having a repulsive behavior, some compulsion behavior like that. Some they have highly sensitive to sound and light. Nature is designed in such a way. Of course, the God has designed everybody in such a way that the output of the individual should be. If the because the nature of the God has designed that he is highly sensitive to natural light, his output will be high in one area. So you may be excel sometimes in arts like or guitar, you may be leading singer guitar, or in mathematics or physics, you may be a leading mathematician or a top scientist. So nature, I can say, is one of the biggest mathematical calculator, of course, and of course, such a thing I haven't seen. And of course, we are basically medical doctors. We are already, or we are always astonished why a small egg and a sperm fused to become such a complex thing. Of course, the animals, human, of course, our human beings have it. Even, of course, we had the morphogenesis study, everything. Till now, we only studied about less than 10% only. We are 90% to go. So neurodiversity is a part of this 90%. So it is a highly explored area because we can't model the brain. Modeling the brain is very high difficult. Yes, artificial intelligence is there. Artificial intelligence with respect to your brain, the networking, I can say the neural network, our brain now, it is billions of, actually it is in billions of kilometers, how the brain network. Nobody has said it, only less than 8 to 10% has only studied. So the 90% is there. So a neurodiversity with respect to machine learning is a, I can say there's an algorithm in that. We just want to explore. Myself and my brother is into that. That is the finally the theory of everything, TOE. That is everybody is saying the theory of everything. The Einstein, in his final years, he just want to unify all the fields, the electromagnetic field, weak interaction, like that. That's the theory of everything. Of course, he can't had a unified theory. Of course, the theory of everything. Myself and my brother had the high intuition. Of course, we are working on this. This is the theory of everything. When we model the mind, when we model the brain, we should, and we will have the theory of everything. And nature is very critical that nature secrets should not be we should memorize also. So it will shuffle us. Finally, it will give also. So it is our concept of neurodiversity. Yeah.
Hmm. Thank you so much. I immensely appreciate it. It was very deep and profound
Yeah.
response. And the key takeaway, which I can make, that recognizing neurodiversity for you, your brother, and environment you're surrounded by, is not just
Yeah.
about conscious brain, it's more about compassion. It's a catalyst for
Yeah.
better, broader innovation
Yeah. Yeah.
and inclusive design, better design for all.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
we're wrapping up, I would like to ask you a last question. It's also the tradition for my podcast that
Yeah.
we are playing at a little game about fairy tale, which is
Yeah.
uh, it's very famous all over the world. It's Aladdin, and I have the
Yeah.
magical lamp, which is helping me always to make a wish for my
Yeah.
guests. So, my next question to you will be, if today you could make a wish for my magical lamp, so what your wish could look like? Thank you.
Our wish is that we can create artificial life. How we can create life? How we can create the life from the dead person? How can we bring back the dead person to life? And we are working on that. It's called a new area called nano cryonics, bringing back the life from the dead people. Well, bringing back the dead people back to life. Of course, the Jesus Christ the Great has done. Of course, how we can resurrect and all. How we can resurrect. That is our great wish, and of course, we are working for that, and we are 100% confident that. Of course, it's a great challenge also. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes, we can do it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm joining to your
Yeah,
wish, and I hope your brother can share the wish. So,
yeah,
uh, about our reference today and reflection, and if we can wrapping up. So, the future built on diversity, and of course AI diversity and nano diversity and
yeah,
unconscious and conscious diversity. So from the nano to the cosmic,
yeah,
everything shows us that what's possible when we are together, when we're united, when we embrace diversity and inclusion. It really make it our engines, right? So
yeah,
thank you
yeah,
both for joining us today, to my audience and you. And thank you for sharing your powerful journey. And to our listeners, let this episode be a reminder that the future isn't written by one kind of mind, but really, really, it's co
yeah,
authored by many, many diversified,
yeah,
beautiful brains,
yeah,
which you are representing. And until next time, stay bold, curious. Remember, diversity is the game changer.
yeah, yeah.
Thank
Definitely,
you
ma'am.
so much. Have
Thank
a
you, ma'am. Thank
blissful day, and
you,
say a warm greetings to your brother maybe
brother.
next
Definitely, ma'am.
time. we
Definitely. Yeah,
can
definitely.
make show three of us, or
Okay, ma'am.
while I'm planning my visit to India, maybe we can
Definitely,
meet
ma'am.
and you can
Definitely, ma'am.
show.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you, ma'am.
so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, all
Thank you.
blessings. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye. Yeah.